Welcome to Taylor Mountain. Today I'm going to run Taylor Mountain to the top of Taylor Mountain from the Kawana Terrace entrance. This is also known as the north entrance. If you saw the previous video on Taylor Mountain, that was from the Petaluma Hill, which is south of here. One of the unique differences here is the fact that you do have disc golf at this location. There's actually two different entrances. There's one behind me, and then if we scan past the parking lot, there's another entrance here. And then to actually get into or onto the trails, there's actually two different entrances, either to the right or to the left of the water towers that are behind me. Just like all the other county parks, there is a $7 fee for parking. However, if you want to, you can go right down the hill and there is plenty of parking down there. You just simply have to walk a little farther. The one thing I will say is that the couple of times I've been here, finding parking down at the bottom where it's free is pretty tight. It's pretty busy up here also. All right, let's head on up the hill. If you plan on doing this walk, expect to see cows. That is first evident when you try and get into the park, in the fact that the gate actually has a chain around it to make sure that the cows cannot get out. So when you come here, you got to unchain, come on in, and when you're all said and done, you got to run the chain back through the eye and make sure the gate's locked before you head up the trail. Coming out of the parking lot, I went to the left of the water towers down here. There's also another entrance to the right. Ultimately, they can come together if you want to. One of the interesting things about this place is that there are a ton of trails. The main trail that is behind me, though, is going to be the most direct route for actually getting up there, and that's the trail that I'm going to take right now. I squeeze down. There you go. You can see it. That is not the top of the hill, though, by the way. Just as an FYI, we got to go up a little bit higher. The parking lot itself is somewhere around 400 foot elevation, and then the peak of Taylor Mountain is 1140. So we've got quite a bit of a climb, and I only want to say it's a couple of miles. It's only 2-3 miles long, so it is very steep. But let's go ahead and start hiking up this beast. This is the first of a couple of steep climbs that you've got to do. Made it to the first plateau, if you will. I'm taking the direct route up. There are some other side routes that you can take. I've got some great views of Santa Rosa. Unfortunately, right now I'm shooting into the sun and some fog's rolling in, so you're probably not going to be able to see things too well. You can also see the fairgrounds and the golf course. However, behind me is the hill that we got to keep on climbing. So I'd say I'm about a third of the way up right now. Not sure if you can see all the people coming up and down the next little hill in front of me. You'll notice those trees. You might think that's the top. That's not the top. However, it is shade. As you can kind of see as we walk, kind of pan around here, there's not a lot in the way of shade. So this is going to be one of those parks that you want to definitely bring some water with you. Well, this is what the sun looks like from about 3/4 up. Some of the trails converge at this point, and depending on which way you want to go up, essentially you're going to want to head into the tree line. And like I said before, the tree line is not the top. There's the peak is behind the tree line. We got to go down a little bit, then it comes back up. So let's go ahead and keep on at it. You'll know that you're almost to the top when you come out of the tree line and the trail starts going up again. This is a good sign that we are getting close to the top. All right, skeeters are bad up here. Almost to the top. You'll know that you're there when you've reached the historic rock wall. Not sure what the history is on the rock wall because they don't tell you, but it's a rock wall. And up ahead is the summit. What's cool about this when you get up here is the fact that, Skeeter, this is one of the few places where you can see East Santa Rosa, downtown Santa Rosa, Petaluma, Roner Park. It's kind of a unique view from the very, very top, just in the sense that it's very panoramic. Very cool, so I'll show it to you when we get up there. This is the top of Taylor, and you know it's the top when you run into the fence in the vineyard. Can't go any farther than this. Who is this for? Well, I think it's for a variety of people. If you're looking for a quick workout that's really going to work your legs, get a sweat, get your heart rate up, then take the direct route up to the top. You'll find it's very steep, challenging. If you're not up for the challenge, maybe you've got some kids, just take some of the side trails, enjoy nature, come and see if you can find the cows. In fact, we were up, about halfway up the hill and saw some cows crossing down below, so I expect to see them on the way back down. But there's a ton of other trails for sunsets. This is a great place. I don't recommend coming all the way to the very top because there's that sub-mountain down there with all the trees and everything that kind of blocks the view. But any of the little plateaus along the way, on the way up here, are great vantage points for downtown Santa Rosa. If you come up a little bit higher, you get into Petaluma. Great views of sunsets. And speaking of sunset, it's going down, so I'm going to head down the hill.